for the last year, I can say I'm in my 20s. People say your 20s are where you find yourself, but I think I spend most of it trying to keep up. I thought by now I'd feel different, more certain, but instead it just feels like life. The same hands, the same faces, the same questions I still don't have answers to. 29, one more year to figure it out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys are new here, my name's Chris. And as you guys are watching this, I am now 29. 29 years old, the last year of my 20s before I enter the dirty 30s. And I feel like I might be one of the only people who turn 29 and thinks that I cannot wait for my 30s. I can't wait to enter in this next stage of my life. I'm really excited. And I figured in today's video, I would share with you 5 things that I've learned over the past 9 years of my life that I think have helped elevate me personally, creatively, with my relationships, and just in life that I think a lot of people may forget, or they're just good reminders to hear, because sometimes life is a lot and we forget who we are, why we do the things that we do. And I think these 5 things are just really good reminders to just keep going and pursue whatever you're trying to pursue, because that's all I'm going to be doing in this last year and heading into my 30s. So the first thing is be nothing but yourself. You know, in a world where the internet tells you that you need to be somebody else, that you're not good enough, I think the biggest advantage that we have as humans is being ourselves. You know, you have to love yourself to be able to love someone else. You have to love yourself to feel confident. And I think it took me most of my 20s to truly love myself. You know, I went to therapy, and therapy was truly just me getting over all of the fears, all of the random things that happened to me as a kid. And once I learned to just be me, and it's okay to be me, to enjoy the things that I enjoy, to feel inspired by the things that inspire me, to just like all the different things that I like, it really just opened up me, and I became so much more confident and just in myself. And for the past 3 years, I've just been very confident in who I am. I truly love who I am. And I think if you're a person who's watching this and you don't love yourself, you should learn to, because no one else is like you. No one can think the way that you think. No one sees the world the way that you see the world. And people need that. People need you. People need me to share their experiences and to just be confident. Because if you don't love yourself, you're going to spend most of your life not happy with where you are. I'm not gonna lie, it is so cold out here in Milwaukee. I jumped in my car. I was gonna film this whole thing outside, but it's a lot more cozy. I'm able to have my seat warmers on. The second thing is call your loved ones. You know, I feel like it's easy to get caught up in just life and all the different things that we're trying to do. And obviously getting new things is sick, right? Like, I would love to have a new camera. I would love to have a cooler car, yada, yada, yada. But I think sometimes we forget that people is what truly matters in this world, right? Like, the relationships that we have are the number one thing. And I think just calling your loved ones, calling your mom, calling your dad, calling your siblings more, something I've been doing more is just trying to connect more with my friends. You know, as I get older, a lot of my friends are having kids, a lot of my friends are not here, and it's easy to let life get in the way. And I've learned that just reaching out, like, if I think of a friend or something, I immediately send them a text, and just let them know, hey man, thinking about you, or I'll send them something that was on my mind, and just, it keeps the conversation going. And it's easy to let your relationships go, especially in your late 20s, just because everyone else is kind of doing their own thing. So yeah, call your loved ones. The third thing I've learned in my 20s is to take risks. Nothing in this life is going to be handed to you. And something I wish I would have done in my early 20s is take more risks, right? If you like a girl at a bar, go and approach her. If there's a job that you want, do everything that you can to get that job. Go and meet people, introduce yourself to anyone that you can, and all of those risks, big or small, are gonna soon add up and get you to where you're trying to go, even if you don't know where you're trying to go yet. You know, I think one of the coolest things that happened to me when I started living downtown, because I'm from a small town, was the opportunities that came to me just because I would go and get coffee and just talk to the barista. Someone would hear me talking, or I'd walk around with my camera. That's how I started shooting comedy shows, is I was walking around with my camera, and one of the owners of the comedy store around here in Milwaukee saw it and was like, hey, do you want to photograph a show? And I said yes. And I did that 3 or 4 times. It was super cool. And I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity if I wasn't taking a risk in filming myself in public, right? I feel like a lot of people think that they need to take these large risks to make huge jumps in their life, but small compound risks that you take, introducing yourself, the list goes on, will take you further than if you just didn't, right? Get up off your couch, go introduce yourself to someone, go and make that idea, take a risk, and own it. The fourth thing that I think I've learned the most over my 20s is to document your life more, and not even just to post on socials, but just for yourself. Because I post things on socials, I have 5 years of my life that I just have talking. Seeing where I was, the mindset that I was in, is super cool. And something I've also been doing is journaling. Journaling is such a big thing, and it's fun to go back 3 to 4 years ago and just see where my mind was, see the way I was thinking, why I was depressed, what things were catching me off guard. And it's just, I feel like we are one of the only generations that has the ability to literally look back and see exactly what we were doing on specific days of our lives. Like, our parents don't have that. We have that, and I think it's gonna be a great tool for us going forward. And also, it's gonna be nostalgic when we're 70, sitting there with our grandsons, granddaughters, and saying, hey, you wanna see what I did when I was 29? I made a video about all the things that I learned in my 20s, right? And I think it's just cool It's fun to see where you were, and it's fun to see where you're going. And one of the last things I've learned over the past 9 years of my life is that this moment that we're in right now, these are the golden years, right? Everyone loves to look back at the nostalgia times, right? And I think something that's helped me just be more present is when something's cool or something amazing happens in your life, I try to really sink in that feeling and just be like, I am here. This is sick. Let me appreciate this. Because this moment that we're in, this day that we're living, these are the golden years. I'm gonna look back at this video 5 years from now when I have a family being, oh, I remember when I was 29, running around Milwaukee, making videos, trying to figure out who I am, and now I'm here. And like, I wish I could go back and just not have a care in the world and just make a video. And I think it's the days that we live in. Everyone wants the next thing. Everyone's rushing towards the next thing. And I just know where my life is going with a family, with starting this next chapter. And I'm just really sinking in these next 1 to 2 years and just really enjoying the moments that I have. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people rush. A lot of people wish that their lives were different, or they wish that they could go back to when they were in their early 20s, drinking and partying at the bars. Oh, that was the time. Yeah, that was a time. But want to know what's also a time? This moment right here. And I think that's powerful to realize that. And it's just enjoyable once you figure out that these are the golden years and these are the best times that we're going to live in. And in 5 to 10 years from now, we're just going to be looking back at this and be like, oh, that was the time to be alive. So enjoy the moment that you're in. Enjoy the day that you live. Hard, easy, complicated, whatever it is. These feelings that you feel are real. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the golden days. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. 5 things that I've learned over the past 9 years of my life. Being in your 20s is so weird, right? When you hit 20, everyone expects you to start figuring things out. And then when you turn 29, they expect you to have it all figured out. But in reality, we're all just making our way through this crazy life. So if you got anything out of this, I wouldn't mind if you dropped a like. I would appreciate it. And I don't know, let's have a conversation in the comments. Drop something, whether it's something that you've learned in your 20s, something that you're currently learning, or if you just have some life advice, some creative advice, drop in the comments. Let's have a conversation. So that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next one. I got some dope stuff coming. So, peace.